My name is Bob. My special guest this time around, Anson Williams. You may remember him as Potsi on Happy Days, joining me today, talking about a couple of things that are pretty important. Drowsy driving, keeping yourself alert. I see you have 5 daughters, so I mean that's probably something pretty important we can talk about, and just a lot of different things. I want to start off with Happy Days because every one of my listeners has seen Happy Days and probably really enjoyed it as much as I did when I was growing up. But the show took place in Milwaukee. Did you ever spend any time here in the state of Wisconsin?
Actually, yeah. We went back quite a few times promoting, and then we had a huge parade back there. And then we spent quite a bit of time, when they unveiled Fonzie's statue there, the bronze of Fonz. We were back there for quite a while.
Right. I've seen that a few times. I was shocked by how short it was. Because when I was growing up, Fonzie was always the Fonz, it was like, whoa.
He's short, but he made himself mighty.
Right. How was it growing up and, being Potsi on a show that everybody loved?
It was just a very lucky experience because not only was it a lot of fun doing the show, Gary Marshall was a mentor and a teacher for all of us. He inspired us in so many other areas of the business. So we used the show as a college. And that's why today we're all wearing so many hats, directing, producing, writing, because Gary Marshall inspired us to be all we can be. Mm-hmm. And we were able to use all those years on Happy Days very constructively.
Now, how many total years did Happy Days run?
It ran for 10.5 years. And
do you still? I know this is a personal question, but do you get residuals on that show?
Yeah, you get some. I mean, it's not a lot.
Right.
The way back then they didn't pay like they pay stars of today.
Right.
Nowhere near it. But back then there were only 3 networks. We'd have an average audience of 50-some million people a week.
Wow, I couldn't imagine that.
Yeah.
Now, how often do you get noticed when you go out in public, Anson?
It all depends. Most of the time, people aren't looking. It just depends on the situation. Sometimes a lot, sometimes not at all.
Right. Do people still call you Potsi on the streets?
I turn around to anything.
Hey, you.
They know us as our name. They know us as characters. They also know, they all know we're directing and writing. I mean, people are, it's interesting how much they do keep up with, our careers.
Right. Well, I mean, I actually, when I got an email from Harlan the other day mentioning that that you're big right now into keeping people alert while they're driving, and I see that Dr. Heimlich from the Heimlich maneuver, that he's your uncle. Yes.
In fact, we were fortunate enough where together years ago we were able to get the Heimlich maneuver on national television for the first time on Merv Griffin's show.
Really?
That saved a lot of lives, and 3 weeks later he was on Johnny Carson's show, and the Heimlich maneuver became part of our lives. And Henry's been very influential for years in my life. Not only have I, been fortunate enough to direct, a lot of television since '85, I also started a product company, a successful product company, about 18 years ago with my business partner Joanna Cannell. And backtracking, years and years ago, I was directing a show called Slap Maxwell with Dabney Coleman. And we were shooting out in a local California desert, Palmdale, California. Mm-hmm. And it was a hard day of shooting. On the way home, I ended up bouncing around in the desert. I'd fallen asleep at the wheel and almost killed myself. And I told Henry about it, Dr. Heimlich, and he said, Anson, keep cut up lemons in the car. And I said, why? And he explained how the sour citric acid with the sour taste hits the lingual nerve on top of the tongue, and it causes an automatic reflex reaction of adrenaline in the body, and you're instantly alert from the own body's sensory connection. So, and the only 2 tastes that will do it is very, very hot pepper, like a jalapeno, or super sour citrus, and it's not even in your system. It's just a reflex reaction, just like if you go to the doctor and use a little rubber hammer to get chest reflexes. It's the same thing on your tongue. Every time you put that sour citrus on the top of your tongue, you will get an automatic reflex reaction of adrenaline. And it saved my life for years and years. I'd bite into, excuse me, I'd bite into lemons, and excuse me, and then a few years ago, my business partner and I were researching. We found out how catastrophic drowsy driving is. I mean, it's a silent killer. There's 185 million drowsy drivers a year, more now. 1 out of 5 accidents are caused by it. 1 out of 5 drivers admit to falling asleep. There's more deaths than alcohol and drugs combined in cars, and it's $17 billion worth of damage. It is catastrophic. I mean, everyone has a drowsy driving story, and these families are being torn apart. They're losing their children. They're losing their fathers unnecessarily. Mm-hmm. In this crazy world now, we can actually solve something, and that's drowsy driving. And I had this idea, and I called up Henry, and I said, Hank, what if we put a lemon, if we put the right amount of citric acid, water, and natural lemon in a spray, and just hit that nerve on the top of the tongue? He said, that's brilliant. He said, it'll be more effective than biting into a lemon because it's a direct hit to the nerve. Great. So we spent 2 years developing alert drops. And it's already, and if you go to alertdrops.com, you'll read all about it and how it works and why it works. It's very old science, lots of science behind it, doctor recommended, hugely credible product, all natural, natural sensory connection, no caffeine, no stimulants, no sugar, no nothing. We've already saved numerous lives. Loretta Swit from Masters Going Public, how it saved her best friend's life already. And we can actually now stop drowsy driving. We can stop unnecessary death with a simple spray on the tongue, thanks to Dr. Heimlich. And Dr. Heimlich passed away December 17th, last December. Mm-hmm. But a few weeks before his passing, we talked, and he said, Anson, make sure you get these drops out to everybody. It will save more lives than the Heimlich maneuver.
Is it similar, Anson,
we're paying Dr. Heimlich forward, and his whole philosophy in life was that we all die. We must leave something positive behind that doesn't. And not only now is he saving lives with the Heimlich maneuver, he's saving lives every day with alert drops. Every car in America should have this, in them, or your pocket, or your purse. It will save your life one day.
Is it similar to like the Banaka Blast when you used to spray that in your mouth? Is it in that same type?
It's not the Banaka Blast, but it's the same way of distributing it. A little sprayer, bam. Yes.
Right. So it's an aerosol spray.
If they go on my Facebook page under Anson Williams, the test and go to alertdrops.com, the testimonials are off the map, and you can also buy it on Amazon.com.
Interesting. Now, is it super sour when you try it out?
Super sour. Super sour.
you make that face when you're done?
You need the citric acid for the hit, and you need the super sour. That combination charges the lingual nerve, the sensory connection to your brain, and your body creates its own adrenaline to make yourself alert. I mean, coffee doesn't work. If you drink coffee, it's 20 minutes to take effect, and then you're all jittery and you can't sleep, and all that other, there's nothing else on the market, nothing in the world that works but us. It's the only product in the world
Anson,
that absolutely will stop your drowsy driving.
How long is the effects of it then?
It all depends. Each one's individualized. I'm finding an average of 30 minutes with one hit on the tongue. And then if you need it again, you take another hit. It's lemon. I mean, there's nothing there that harms you. There's nothing that goes in your system. So it's all a natural adrenaline reaction. So you can use as much as you want. And I'm not saying you use it and then drive another 10 hours. No, you use it, get alert, get off the road, and save your life.
Right. Anson Williams joining us, formerly of Happy Days, now with helping you to stay alert with alertdrops.com. I was going to say, Anson, that this is, you can kind of have a tie-in between this and your Potsi days. It kind of helps you to pump your blood, right?
Actually, that's fun. Someone actually recommended that we get an Alert Drop song, kind of like Pump Your Blood.
Could you do me a favor?
That's not a bad idea.
I told my boss I was interviewing, and he goes, "Oh, pump." Can you do a little bit?
That brings back. I'm sorry.
Can you do a little bit of that for me? I would love it.
Pump your blood. Except I'd be on key the other time.
That is so
I'll tell you
awesome.
something. I got that song the day before to pre-record.
Uh-huh.
You know what it was like memorizing those lyrics overnight? Oh my gosh!
You probably
I had
dreamt
dropped sweat like you couldn't believe. I was scared to death.
Really?
Oh my gosh! Can you imagine? Look at those lyrics. Oh my gosh!
Pa-pa-pa-pa-pa.
Yeah. Banana meets the da 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 to the H. I go, oh my gosh! I couldn't do it again if you paid me.
Did they have, back in those days, did they have your lines written out on cue cards or anything, or did you just...
No.
How do you remember all that stuff?
I was sitting there going, oh, I'll never get through this. A godly intervention, let me tell you.
Really? That's
Oh, yeah.
Do you look at the way the TV shows are run now compared to the way that they were when you guys were doing your show? That things now are just a lot easier.
It's actually ridiculous. I mean, I direct a lot.
Right.
I directed over 400 hours of television. It used to be so simple. It used to be a lot simpler. Now, there's just so many unnecessary layers of people and executives. I mean, there's so many people being paid that really don't have a purpose. They take something simple and make it so complicated. And the budgets are ridiculous because of unnecessary expenditures to people we don't need to make a show. But that's my quiet opinion.
Why do you think that is, Anson?
I don't. I think since big corporations have taken over, entertainment, and they think they don't really understand how a show's created. So we need a VP of this and a VP of that, and oversee of this. And back in the day when they did the Honeymooners and all that, there was a sponsor, and they did the network and the producers did their show.
Right.
Now you have a network with 18 executives. You have a studio with 18 executives. Then you have your executives on the show itself. So you go through all these layers of approvals, and everybody needs a purpose. So everybody does the input, and a lot of times it destroys the show. When you're someone like Jerry Seinfeld, then you have when you're like that, then you can have control of your show. You can just pretty much do what you want to do. But most shows, you're stuck with all this hierarchy. And it's funny, as a guest director, it really makes it pressure-filled,
Mm-hmm. Hey, I have a question. Do you think that any kids in the 70s and 80s were named after Anson or Potsi?
Well, not Potsi, but the name Anson got out there. I used to be the only one ever, everyone, and now, actually, there's been quite a few kids that have been named Anson. It's a good name.
I was going to ask about that because you're the only person that I think I've ever talked with the name of Anson. What's the how did that name come about?
Well, they wanted to call me Andrew, but 6 months earlier, my cousin was born, named Andrew. So they wanted Ann in the name because of my grandma Ann. They wanted Ann in the name. So I was like baby Heimlich for days in the hospital, and finally they found the name in a baby book. They found the name Anson.
Really?
And that's what happened.
I wonder if a lot of people, because I just found out today that your birth name was Anson William Heimlich, and I would just
Heimlich,
yeah, and I just always assumed that it was Anson Williams because that's how
William was my middle name.
Uh-huh.
And when I started in show business, they said, "Oh, Heimlich, people don't understand it. Why don't you just use your middle name, add an S?" I said, "Fine, great." That was before the Heimlich maneuver.
Right.
Now everybody knows the name.
Right. Well, actually, there was lacrosse where I'm living is just made national news because a kid at my son's high school was choking, and another student who was studying that he wants to be a first responder actually jumped up and saved this kid from dying by using the Heimlich maneuver. And it was just like within the last 6 months.
Isn't that wonderful? But that's Henry leaving something positive behind. That's Henry. His life continues to save lives, and with alert drops. with alert drops, and I want to continue that legacy for Henry. And, it's the same thing. Long after I'm gone, this will be saving lives. And what better purpose for having a platform to be able to promote something, I actually think everything that's kind of happened in my life led up to this product, that I'm able to actually, what are the odds that I would have made it in show business? I was just a number in the world, very little odds. What are the odds I go into directing? What are the odds I have an uncle like Dr. Heimlich? And what are the odds I go in the product business too? It's almost like destined. And so it's very, very important to me to get alert drops out there to everybody. Again, 168 million drowsy drivers, come on. You see children taken away, parents taken away. This is something we can control. This is something we can't fix. It's fixed. And that's a positive. It's a positive, in terms of purpose, your life's purpose.
Well, Anson, I see that 1 in 5 accidents are caused by drowsy driving. I'm guessing that 3 out of those 5 other accidents are caused by texting and driving. Maybe if you made a lighter version that you could spray on somebody that's texting while they're driving, and then that way you could have it covered with both sides. Alert drops, and we got it for in your time.
Really.
We got it for the guys that are doing the texting and driving. How do we find out more information, Anson, about picking this stuff up so that way we can all stay alert and stay alive while we're on the road and on the road to drive?
Well, definitely go. Everyone out there who knows someone who drives a lot, your kids, your husband, you want to keep them safe. You get alertdrops.com. You can get alert drops. The information is all on alertdrops.com. You'll see why it's doctor recommended. You will see all the science and studies behind it. You'll read the story of why it was created, how it was created, how it works, why it works, and then you can buy it at alertdrops.com, or you can go to Amazon.com and buy it there. It's all free shipping too. We made it really, really reasonable for people. And if you buy it on alertdrops.com, you get 2, and you're kind of on auto ship. If you want to buy 1, you go to Amazon.com, and it's all free shipping, so we make it really easy for everybody.
All right. I see here each year drowsy driving causes 1,550 deaths. 11 million people admit that they've had a near crash because they've dozed off. Honestly, because I work early in the morning for my job, Anson, and there's times I'm sitting at home after work, eating lunch, watching some TV, and half hour later I wake up like, what happened?
Exactly. That's what. Yeah.
And this would be perfect for something like that, or even for a student. A kid sitting in class. It's like, instead of falling asleep when you're doing your test or doing your homework or trying to study for some of that stuff, a quick spray. And is it more than one spray, or is it just like one single spray and you're good to go?
Yeah, it's not how much. It's one hit. One hit on the tongue will do it. You don't need a lot.
Right.
One hit on the tongue, boom, and that's because it's not how much you take. It's just hitting the middle of your tongue.
Right.
It's not the amount. It's the effect of the immediate hit. So so that it lasts a long time. It's a good supply.
Anson Williams is alert.
You pay $5 for like a Starbucks, and then here you pay less than $10 and you have something that lasts for over 30 days.
Right. And plus, like you said, it lasts for 30 days. Absolutely, for $5 for a coffee, which lasts this long. Then you're stopping every 5 minutes to go to the bathroom. This you get the spray.
Yeah, and it doesn't work.
And you're good to go.
It even shows you how that India has such a problem with drowsy driving. They set up government-funded coffee stops.
Really?
Not realizing that ain't going to help the problem.
Right. Crazy.
Because it just grows every year. Alert drops will stop the problem.
Alertdrops.com if you want more information. Anson, I appreciate your time today. Hey, real quick, what projects are you working on television where I'll be able to see you?
Well, see, right now I'm in the middle of producing. We're working with Taste of Home, which is the largest food recipe platform in the world. If you look it up, Taste of Home. We're creating a show with them, a really cool talk kind of cooking show. And I did Battle of the Network Stars. It's on July 20th.
Oh, cool! How'd you do?
I think I'm there for the comic relief. Actually,
Are you?
So you bet. Tune if you want a good smile. Tune in.
Are you Are you a naturally funny guy?
I think it depends. It depends on the moment, but yeah. I mean, there's a. Yeah, I think everyone who's done comedy kind of has instincts for humor.
Timing isn't timing the thing. All right, I have to I have to ask you this, Anson, because like I told you at the beginning before we even went on the air that when I was growing up I used to love watching Happy Days, and the cool thing is about doing my job is that I get the opportunity to talk to people like yourself. But I'm wondering, like, do you guys think that I have to talk with this person, or do you still get a little excitement out of doing an interview?
Oh, I get excitement, and I appreciate it because, like right now, your show by you will save a life. Someone's going to listen, and someone's life's going to be saved. How good do you feel? We have to be collaborators, and I'm so thankful you're allowing me on your platform to be able to help people. I mean, it takes no one can do it by themselves, so I'm very appreciative of the media.
Hey, that's awesome.
And I'm very appreciative when the media is doing something positive.
AlertDrops.com. Real quick, let's finish it off with pump. Let's
Okay. Oh gosh, I hope I'm on key. All right. Pump up, pump your blood. It was off key. But you get the idea.
Hey, that's all right. I got to harmonize a little bit with Anson Williams.
Oh God, my singing career is over. Well, it's been over for years, but that's okay.
Hey, my radio career is probably over now too. Anson, thanks a lot for joining me today. Appreciate it a whole bunch.
Thanks so much for everything. Everyone have a great day.
Hey, awesome. Hey, thanks again, man. I appreciate it. Have a great day.